And so if your energy is akin to a man's energy and you feel like a man, then a man is not going to have enough oomph, let's say. He's not going to have enough desire to keep moving things forward because a man wants to feel like he's with a woman. Men fall in love with your energy. This might sound super confusing and absurd, but it is absolutely true. And I want you to tune into the end to really understand this message. Energy is so important, and we're moving into a world where energy is going to take precedence, which I'm very excited about because we are energy beings. We are soul embodied in a physical body experiencing reality. Our mind, our vehicles or tools for the soul to express itself. Language is just a mode of communication for the soul to express itself, but it's not the way that human beings actually connect with each other. It's not the way that we primarily relate or even find attraction to one another. In this video, I want to talk about how men determine a woman is the one and how energy plays into that. When a man meets a woman, the first thing that he notices, and I'm not going to say that physical appearance doesn't play a factor here because it does. A woman can have a nice energy and then completely let herself go physically, and then this won't apply. I'm talking about women that generally do take care of themselves and are physically attractive to the opposite sex. That alone is not going to make a man fall in love with a woman. When the physical aspect of a woman is there, meaning that she doesn't have to be attractive to everyone, but let's say she's attractive to certain men, the looks are not the only thing that's going to keep a healthy, empowered, masculine man with a woman, because it's the energy that is going to matter most. You can be super physically attractive and in a very successful career as a woman and have men that desire you. So you can even have men that pursue you. But what you'll find is that the healthier men, or the men that you are attracted to, so let's say the masculine energy men, they're not committing. And the reason for this is because your energy is either off-putting or your energy is akin to a man's energy. And so if your energy is akin to a man's energy and you feel like a man, then a man is not going to have enough oomph, let's say. He's not going to have enough desire to keep moving things forward because a man wants to feel like he's with a woman. And so it's really important to learn how to open your heart and to embrace your feminine nature and not get so caught up with the mind or your accomplishments, because again, your accomplishments are great, but it doesn't make you you. Your energy makes you you. Your energy is the expression of your soul, and it's who you are. And so you really want to not focus so much on what you do for a living. You don't want to connect with men at the ego surface aspect. A man's not going to connect with that, because the men that we are interested in, they already are accomplished. They're accomplished, they're successful. They don't need to be impressed with women in terms of what they do and how successful they are. Although it matters, it doesn't matter as much as a woman's energy. If you're a woman watching this, I want you to think about when you've met a man and this man is really good looking. You'll either feel very drawn to the man or you'll feel put off by the man. And now it depends on what your energy is. If your energy is predominantly feminine, you're going to be attracted to men that are very strong in their masculine energy and have a very strong presence about them, but that are open, meaning that their heart is open. The masculine and the feminine energy in a man or a woman, let's say if you're integrated, that means that your heart is open. So you can feel from these people that are embodied in their energy and they've opened their heart. You're going to be able to feel something from them, and it's magnetic. Aside from the looks, you're going to have this like desire to keep moving toward them. Even as a woman, oftentimes women will be very attracted to masculine energy men because masculine energy men are warm, they're open, they're charismatic, they're not needy, they're not emotionally reliant on a woman. I'm not talking about that. That is an unhealed man. That's not an open man. Openness comes from your own level of security, and when you've done a certain level of healing work. Anyone that is coming on too strong is not open. That is a woman or a man that is pursuing the opposite sex from an unhealed space, and they are moving into the dynamic from their trauma. If you're in your healthier energy, that won't feel good. It will feel good if you are also pursuing relationships from a wounded place, because when you don't see yourself, you're going to be attracted to men that give you a lot of attention. You're going to be attracted to that because you're not able to see yourself, and it'll be perceived as someone is seeing you, but they're not seeing you. They're also emotionally bankrupt and they're needy. So they're also looking validation from you as you are from them. When it comes to energy, if a woman is very attractive, but she is closed in her energy, you're not feeling anything when you're around this woman. Or let's say her energy is very abrasive or cold. Let's use coldness or warmth. Feminine energy or good energy is warm. So it's inviting, it's open. You want to be in this energy. It's magnetic, it pulls you in. If a man finds a woman attractive, but then her energy is very cold, or her energy is abrasive and loud and arrogant, let's say, it doesn't matter how attractive the woman is, because the energy is going to be off-putting. The first thing a man notices is, am I physically attracted to her? That is number one. After that, he's going to feel for her vibe. You can say vibe, if not energy. He's going to feel, oh, I like being around her. She feels good. She feels light. She feels open. Speaking to her is very easy. It's effortless. And when a man feels this in a woman's energy, what happens is he just wants to keep moving toward her. When you see a person that has good energy, you're not pulled away from that person, you're actually gravitated to the person, you move toward the person, right? So this is the same for the opposite sex, and you can always invert the video for man or woman. A woman is going to be drawn to a man energy. When a man is masculine, strong, steady, yet has an open heart, she's going to be very pulled to the man. And this comes from a sense of security, because a person that is secure, is open, feels good about themselves, and desires connection from another person, but doesn't need it. Because they have this level of intimacy within themselves and they see themselves, they would love to experience that with another person, but they don't need it. They don't need someone else to confirm or validate their sense of self. This is what makes a person very attractive when you meet them, because their energy, it's open. They're desiring connection with someone else. It's not that they're closed. And when we're closed, we're functioning more from the ego. What happens when we're closed is that we desire to be with the opposite sex. We desire marriage. We desire monogamy. We desire these things, but we've put on a protective barrier and shield around us to denounce that, because we're afraid of getting hurt. When we are triggered by other people, or even sometimes women will be triggered by me, it's because we want to enhance our own feminine energy, but then when we're around a woman that is actually feminine, it might trigger us. And the reason for that is because we've rejected that part of ourselves. What will happen is, instead of functioning from the heart, we're functioning from our ego, and we're closed. It's the energy of protecting yourself or protecting oneself. When we move into relationships like that, or into dating like that, men get very confused, because your actions as a woman might suggest you want to be with the man, because you might be chasing the man or moving toward the man, but then your energy is very off-putting, and you might be reactive, you might get mad all the time, and he might get the message that, okay, well, I'm not good enough, because no matter what I do, this woman is unhappy, yet you're also chasing the man. That's because deep down you do desire love, you do desire to be protected and loved and seen, but you've rejected those parts of yourselves and you're just protecting yourself. And so if you're protecting yourself, you can't be open. This is why I focus on healing so much. In my paid products, my books, my course will give you greater levels of awareness. You need awareness to heal. We want to do healing work, because if we don't do healing work, and this is for men or women, what happens is we're moving into relationships and we're in partnerships from a space of, I want love, but I'm protecting myself. I want love, but I'm protecting myself. And if you're in a space of protecting yourself, your energy is closed. And if your energy is closed, naturally the other person is going to feel uncomfortable to be around you, because your energy is closed. So how can you expect someone to move towards you when you yourself are guarding yourself? Your energy is going to either cause a person to come towards you or pull away from you. So it's really important to keep in mind what your presence and your energy like suggest to someone else. I was speaking to a woman the other day and I was saying to her that her energy felt very, very bad to me and it was very closed, and I didn't feel good. And I was explaining to her that this is the reason why the man that she wants is always pulling away, because the energy doesn't feel good. When I'm doing single sessions with someone or I work with someone, I'm zoned in on the person. This is not about content. It's about me giving the person awareness of how she's coming across to men. And I said to her, what do you think your energy is putting out to other people? And her response was, I don't care. Like, I don't care what other people think of me. I don't care what other people feel. And I said, well, that's a good thing in one aspect. We shouldn't necessarily care too much about how others perceive us, because that's not good for our own self-esteem. But on the other hand, we do want to have enough self-awareness to be the best version of ourselves. And if we desire love, if we desire connection, which we all do as human beings, we do want to have a little bit of self-awareness of how am I coming off to the opposite sex, because all of us deep down want connection and want to be liked. Not caring what other people think is important, as in not everyone is going to like me. I can trigger women. Women can be sometimes really rude, even to me, but I can't do anything about that. I am who I am. If you don't like the way I speak, you don't like my hair, you don't like what I wear, sometimes women are super critical and judgmental. I'm not here to be something other than I am. This is who I am. I'm an open woman, and this is my femininity. This is how I express myself, and I'm not focused on perfection. That's just not who I am. And so if that is something that triggers someone, well, I'm not going to change myself and appear to be something that I'm not for someone else. Not everyone is going to like you. What I always say to people is how you know what your energy is like, and if you're like inviting versus non-inviting, is look at the majority. As an example, I'm a loving person. I care about others. I give back. My energy is very open. And so naturally what I experience back is 98% of what I receive in my external environment is that which I am, which is love. But 2% will be hate, which is normal because we live in a world where there's duality and not everyone's going to like you. In my inner work course, I talk about patterns. If there's a pattern where 98% what you're seeing is not what you want to see, then we have to look at that. And if we say, well, I don't care what other people think, well, that's okay, but you're not going to live a happy life. You're not going to be fulfilled, because what people look at, and when a man is thinking about who he wants to marry a woman that feels good to be around. And a woman that feels good to be around, her energy is open and happy, and she has a warmth about her. That is what keeps a man from wanting to progress a relationship. And if the woman's energy is cold and prickly, then naturally he's not going to want to do for you. He's not going to want to be romantic for you. You can't expect a man to do for you when you're not like an invitation for a man to do for you. You can't expect a man to be romantic or give you words of affirmation when that's not a man's default. If you yourself are a closed woman, you don't see yourself, and you're prickly and unhappy. We all age, we all get older, we can get into an accident, we don't know what's going to happen in life, and the looks fade. Men want to be with a woman that when they're with her, she feels like home and she feels good. And even as a man gets older and the woman gets older and the looks fade, the attraction is still there because the energy between both people feel good and inviting to be around. Okay, my loves, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.